Oh, I love when it does that. It is so cool. The little gauge dance. But anyway, here we are, YouTube. I was having a problem out of my auxiliary port when I hooked up my Bluetooth adapter. I have to jiggle it around to get it to kind of, play on all the speakers, because you only hear it from like half of the car until you jiggle it around and all that. It's kind of like a shortener or something. Looked online, couldn't really find any videos on it. I mean, there's other videos on how to do it for the Tacomas and stuff like that, but I haven't really seen anything for the Lexus IS. So I decided to make a video for you guys to help you out, because I'm sure these cars have this problem pretty commonly. A couple of my friends have had the same problem with their cars. But anyway, you can there's two ways you can do this. You can take it apart and try to, where are we at? Take it apart and try to solder it, because apparently the solder joints have issues on the actual circuit board inside the aux port. But I looked online on eBay and found these little things are relatively cheap if you get them for the Scion. Now, if you buy one for a Lexus, it's probably going to cost, $100 or $80, something like that. Cheapest I saw was like $50 for it. I'm not paying that much for this little part for an old car like this, but anyway, you can if you want to. But I looked up the parts numbers for the Scion. I believe it's the Scion TC. And it looks exactly the same, identical. Same plug-in, same everything else, same shape, size, everything. There's like one number off on the part number. It's like, instead of 20, it's like a 10 or something like that at the end or something. But I don't even think that really matters, honestly. So you can buy that one for the Scion for like $16. Or you can buy the expensive one for the Lexus. It's your choice. I went the cheaper route. I'm gonna go the cheaper route if this doesn't work, because I found this one from a junkyard. So if this one doesn't work, I'm gonna buy the cheaper one, just to see if that works. But anyway, you have those two options. You can try to resolder it yourself, take it apart and go through all that, or you can just get a new one and replace it and be done with it, which I think is the quicker, easier way. So let's get started. So, first thing you want to do is you want to come, either work from the back seat or just lean your driver's seat all the way back or whatever, so you can access back here. This cover has to come off because the wire harness for the aux port is back here. So you can take a plastic, one of those little plastic pry tools, or you can just use your fingernails. I have long fingernails, so you just dig in here and pry it back like that. It comes right off. Same on the other side. Fingernails, pops right off. You just have these two yellow tabs on here, and they just slide back in there, in and out. They're pretty easy to get off. Okay, then you come in here and you have your plug-in for it. There's usually a little tab on here that snaps into the side, but I broke that off because it makes it easier getting this in and out, because the hole is so small. You can see that the hole is very small, so it makes it easier just to, leave that off. So I did that. You take a flathead and pry down on the little tab there, and that'll release that. Pry down on the little tab, and then that pulls right out. That's done. Easy peasy. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is you want to come inside your glove box here and find your aux port. It's right next to your cigarette lighter in the back. And you take a flathead screwdriver and you just want to pry up on it gently. There we go. Pry up on it on this side and then work your way back and forth. Pry up on that side, pry up on that side, pry up on that side until it comes out. It just pops right out. And then you pull it out. Now, when you do this for the first time, you're going to have that little tab on there I was telling you about. And you have to kind of wiggle it out until you get that out of there, because it's kind of awkward. Because, it's like I said, the hole is small. But since I already broke mine off, mine just comes right out. That little tab sticks out right here about that far. And it kind of catches in there. So you got to wiggle it, turn it, and wiggle it and all that to get it out. But, you know, like I said, when you put the new one back in, you could just break that off because it's not really needed anyway. You don't really need that. Okay, so you have your old one out. And what I do to get the new one back in, because it's a little tricky and there's really no space, I take the new one and I tie a piece of string. I got speaker wire because that's all I had laying around. You know, I'd say about a foot, I guess. Take some tape and tighten it around the harness really tight, because you're going to be pulling on this to pull it through. And then it's easy. You take the end of your line. You can use, I guess you can use fishing line for you guys who fish a lot. I just don't have any of that laying around. You can use that. You can use yarn, whatever. Just something that's pretty tough. It's not going to break. And you feed it through the hole. You're going to feed it through the hole like that. And you keep pulling it until you get your harness to go through. Then you'll have your harness right there. And that means you're far enough. Once you get your harness in place, you can just push this back down in there. Bam, like so. And then that's done. Then you come back to the back, remove your tape and all that. I probably used too much tape, but it's all good. I just didn't want to lose it. Remove your tape and your little wire. Where's the button? There it is. There you go. Then you take your plug-in, your wire harness, and plug it into the end. Or the other way around. Plug it in. Then you're good to go. Now, you don't have to snap it back in place. Just set it back in there because it's not going anywhere, obviously. So that's good to go. Take your cover, your back vent cover, slide it back into place, and then just press it back in till it snaps. Once you got that, you're good to go. So after that, then you're good to go. That's it. You hook up your Bluetooth adapter of choice and go from there. I chose this i-Simple I got from Best Buy. It was about, I'm gonna say, 25 bucks, and it works great. It has a USB charge on the side. You can plug it up to your cigarette lighter right next to the aux port in your glove, in your armrest, and it'll recharge it. And it even has, it shows up on your phone when you pull down your, you swipe down your menu. It shows up the battery life on your phone that this thing has, which is also a cool feature. I like it. So after you do that, you're good to go. Plug everything up, test it out, make sure it's good. You would think, this being a Lexus, it would be being a luxury car, it would have Bluetooth included, but I guess back in 07 they didn't have all that. The newer ones, I know they do. I know they have all that already, but what can you do? I plan on getting rid of this car in a couple years and getting this is an 07. I plan on getting a like a 12 or an 11 or something like that, because I want the different refreshed front end. So this is just a temporary car, but If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you and try to help you out if you need any extra advice. But the video is pretty to the point and, you know, cut and dry. So follow the steps and you should be good to go. But until next time, peace.